Want to first congratulate the Tech team and Coach Leach and his staff and really their student body in the city of Lubbock for the atmosphere they had on Saturday night. It was very similar to the atmosphere we had against Missouri, and it was just great. At the same time, I want to brag on our kids and coaches for the class they showed after the game. I do think that the Big 12 and the NCAA should change settings where kids are mauled after the game on the field. It's just really, really dangerous. And it's amazing to me that when we sit around and talk about security all the time, that we'll turn everybody loose on the field, drinking. We don't know what they got in their hands, anything else. I see Colt getting pushed and shoved after the game, and I was in great shape because I had security all around me, but our kids don't. And I really, really appreciate our kids keeping their composure and handling things right. I never saw Coach Leach. I couldn't get down for the Eyes of Texas for the first time that I've been at the University of Texas, and didn't know where any of our players were. And all reports were that they handled themselves well, and it's really hard to go talk to you guys right after the game. And they did that well. So I really appreciate the class that our team and our coaches and our staff showed in a very, very difficult situation after that game, because it will not get more difficult than that. And at the same time, it's not the students' fault. It's not Texas Tech's fault if we're going to allow that to happen across the country. And what I'm afraid, in my lifetime, there will be a tragedy, and that's when we'll change the rules. I'm really, really proud of Texas that we don't do that here. And I think it's the best, and I wish everybody across the country would look at it. And again, it's nothing against Tech, because we do not have Big 12 rules, and we do not have NCAA rules against it. So I do not blame Tech. I do not blame the students at all. I just think it's a very, very difficult and dangerous situations for kids and coaches, and I think it would be better if it wasn't that way. It's not that way here, and it's not that way in the NFL. To start with the game, we didn't play well. We played hard, but we didn't play well. We really, really played poorly the first half. And I give, again, our kids credit and our coaches credit for not pointing fingers and hanging in there and fighting and scraping, and on a night where nothing was going well, and getting ourselves back in the ball game and having a chance to win it, and then lose it right in the end. But first half defensively, we had a number of third downs. We have a 3rd and 8, a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 8, and a 3rd and 14 that they make. And one of our goals was to get off the field on third downs in the first half. We did that much better in the second half defensively. We gave up 8 explosive plays, 2 runs and 6 passes, and we had opportunity after opportunity to gain turnovers, and we only got 1. It's something we're not doing well. We're one of the worst teams in the country for forcing and gaining turnovers. So we need to obviously get better in that area. Graham Harrell really hurt us with his scrambles. They were getting outside of our ends, and most of their really good plays were off-schedule plays that he made with his feet, getting some more time and throwing the ball downfield. We missed 15 tackles, for 93 yards, which is too many again. So for 2 weeks in a row, we haven't tackled well, and part of that's Michael Crabtree. I mean, he's as good as I've seen anywhere. He is a great player. And offensively and defensively, because we weren't getting off the field on third downs, we stayed on the field too long. So we had 43 plays the first half defensively, and that will wear anybody out. We're in pretty good shape because we had some guys banged up and some guys come out of the game, and to be out there that many plays, I think we ended up 81. 81 plays is after a first half like that, it's too many. The defense really held them to 30 points, and with the way they score, that should have been enough to win. Our offense gave up 9 points. And that really hurt us. You can't, in this game, you've got to get possessions offensively. You can't lose possessions, and specifically to points. And the one turnover that we got, our offense only got a field goal out of, where we've been scoring touchdowns. The last drive was a great play by them. I don't know many people that could make that play other than Michael Crabtree, and very honestly, if he catches it and we tackle him, the game's probably over. So it was really risky by them, and at the same time, it worked out for him. I don't think we've ever lost a game in my career on the last second, and I don't think we've had a come-from-behind win where we score with 1:27 left and they come back and score. We've won all those here, and it's really disappointing and a tough Saturday night for all of us. Offensively, as I said, we're very, very poor in the first half. We gave up 9 points. Our running game was non-existent, and we didn't protect Colt well. I thought Colt played a really, really good football game to hang in there and not lose his composure with the pressure that he had across the board, and fought and competed and gave us a chance to win just because of him. And he came back and won the game with 1:27 left, and then it slipped away. But he played great. We dropped 7 passes. I don't think we've dropped that many all year. So, and again, he didn't get frustrated. He wasn't pointing fingers. And to his credit, when you lose Rack on defense, it's really, really tough. When you lose Quan, for us, it's a lot like losing Crabtree for them. But I was really, really proud of Malcolm Williams. He stepped up and had by far his best game of the year. And I thought the kids battled and the coaches battled, and all of us can do better. We can coach better, and they can play better, and we've all got to do that. Kicking game, we had the block punt that really didn't help us much because it was deflected and rolled down to the other end. We did have the blocked field goal, which saved points and gave us a chance to win. We had the punt return for a touchdown, which really, really helped us. The punts with our rugby punt helped our field position because we were able to get the ball down to the other field a lot. Hunter stayed 100%. We were better with our kickoffs. The last one, we didn't get it exactly where we wanted it. We didn't cover it very well and let them get it out to the 36-yard line. So we're going to need our fans this week. It's a very difficult week for our players and our coaches. They're emotionally and physically tired. They're banged up. Some may not play this week. A lot will not be able to practice this week after this stretch, and Baylor's improving. So we got a lot of work to do, and we can't let one loss beat us twice.
Coach, you used to have to take care of business the rest of the year, and the way the system is now, you've got to be saying, you got to lose, you got to lose, you got to lose. Is that against your grain because you're a positive person? Is that the tough thing about the system as it is now? You got to pull against some of your friends?
Yeah, really what we've got to do is play better and not worry about the rest of it. We win the rest of our game, something good will happen to us. But we can't sit around here after a loss when we didn't play well and worry about the end. We better play better, or we'll have some trouble this weekend.
Coach, how do you treat a situation with Blake Gideon where 99.9% of the time he makes that play? Do you sit him down and talk to him? Do you chalk it up to experience and move on?
It's a good question. I told the guys and the staff yesterday that if we go back and look at that game, every one of us had something we could do better. I could have run the clock down more, and we hadn't moved the ball well all night. We hadn't been consistent, so we were sitting there, and I was trying to scream timeout, and we scored. Only time of the night we scored easily, and left 1:27 on the clock. So I told him if I could have wasted 21 more seconds, we got beat with 1 second left, I'm as at fault as he is. So we had bad drops. We had bad missed tackles. We had so many things that Blake's a very confident young man. He'll hang in there and he'll be fine. Not one play wins or loses a ball game. You play for 3.5 hours, and all of our guys just felt bad. It wasn't just him yesterday.
Coach, you talked about playing better, but what's it going to take for this team to play at the level you need to play to win the Big 12?
I don't know. I really don't know. They have all year, and I'm sure they'll have to regroup and come back and play hard. Lubbock's been a hard place for us to play. We've won out there 3 times and lost out there 3 times. The 3 losses were all in the last minute, I think. One was about 35-29 or 42-39, whatever. The other's 42-38, and then this one. So things are harder out there. We've won very easily one time, really pretty easily twice, and then the one time 2 years ago started like this one. We were down 21-0, so we're pretty used to that. We just thought they'd come back and play better, but we just got to keep playing.
Coach, about how fast the expectation changed coming in to this 4-game stretch to go 3-1 seemed like that would be an incredible victory. Now it seems like a disappointment.
Well, anytime you lose a game at Texas, as players and coaches, we're disappointed. So we thought we'd win all 4 of them, period. I mean, it wasn't talked about, and I think it's happened one time in the history of college football, so we probably should have looked at it a little differently. And I think it was 1943 by Notre Dame, 46, something like that. I remember last week. We told the kids we were 1 second away from doing something that hadn't been done in your lifetime, and that's a good thing. Now we got to go back to work.
Coach, looking at the early part of the game, talk about the physicality of Tech's offensive and defensive lines. Anything surprise you guys? Talk about the line play early on.
No, I thought really and truly they played really well up front on both sides, and we were disappointed. We had some opportunities. We made him move around, so our pass rush wasn't as bad as it looked, I didn't think, at times. And offensively, we didn't play well up front. What happens in a game like this, there's a lot of kids that played really well, but since you didn't play well as a team, they don't get any credit. We don't even have any players of the week when you lose. And so it's a shame for Chris Hall had a great game. for instance, and it will go unnoticed publicly, and really he's not feeling good because we lost the game. So there's some things like that that happen, but very honestly, we didn't play as physical as we needed to on either side of the ball.
Coach, on a week after a loss like this, is it more important for seniors to kind of step up and lead the team? Is this a situation where you rely more on the coaches? I mean, how do you kind of feel out where the team is and handle that?
Well, you work through a lot of pain, and you work through a lot of disappointment, and there's some depression usually, and anger, and usually there's finger pointing. We're pretty lucky around here that doesn't happen to us very much, but it's you get more criticism. So all the cheese is gone. We can pack those boxes up. They're out of here. We'll need first aid kits this week instead of cheese. And I really think that you got to use Sunday and Monday to get rid of it. I don't feel very good today myself. I mean, it's a hard thing. So you lose a lot of things that are out there for you, and you can't let it bother you. And what we told the kids is winning every game is not a realistic lesson for life for the rest of your lives. Losing every now and then is. Handling that on the field after the game like you did is a great lesson for you later, because if you can handle that, you can handle about anything, and you're going to have some tough things in your life. Handling this week is tough for a football player. It's not death, but in football it feels similar. And you're in a position where you don't have any choice. If you want to win, you got to go back, and that's what makes you stronger. So we think there'll be a lot of life's lessons this week, and we've all got to pull together, and it does take seniors. It'll take staff. It'll take coaches. We got to get back and feel better about each other. We're just disappointed that each one of us is disappointed as coaches and players that we let the other guys down, because this has been such a special team. And I think that's where it hurts so badly, is that we felt like we let each other down. And that's a hard thing with sports.
You mentioned the running game was non-existent. That's the word used. What about the spark that Fozzie gave you in that second half?
Fozzie did a good job, and we played better the second half. Chris has been he's had a sprained ankle since Oklahoma State. In fact, before that, Missouri. Right at the end of the Missouri game or early second half, he sprained his ankle, and he's really struggled for 2 weeks here. And so Fozzie needs to come on now and be fresh. And Vondrell had a couple of good runs on the counter play, and so we got to keep working on it. I don't know why we didn't do it very well. When we lost out there in '92, it was a very similar game to this. We didn't run it well, and we were inconsistent.
Coach, don't you think some of the best lessons that can be learned coming from a loss to improve?
Yes, no question, and that's what this week has to be about. We're supposed to be teaching lessons for young people, and we're still trying to learn them at my age, and these guys have to learn to pick it back up and go back to work. And like you said, some of the players will be embarrassed to go to class today. It's harder to get them to go to class after a loss than it is a win. It's harder to get them out. They won't go out and eat. They don't want to be out because they don't want to be seen. They're very embarrassed, and that's where our fans have to help us too, because usually fans are angry, like the players are angry. Only difference is players are angry at themselves. Fans are angry at players or coaches. So that's where it's just a different feeling totally, and some of our players have never had that feeling. So it's something we'll have to deal with. And at the same time, I want to say that this will be our toughest coaching week of the season because Baylor's really improving. Baylor's playing well and excited here that they